This is WCBW Television in New York.
And it is time now for the CBS Television News. The stories of Friday, August the 4th, 1944. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins here, and here is what is happening in the world of news. Top story is American forces in France yesterday followed up their smash and defeat of the German 7th Army to swarm over Brittany in a race for vital seaports that may be used to funnel new strength to our armies. Meeting little enemy resistance and leaping fat and over whatever German forces were encountered, our troops were reported within 75 miles of Brest, the second port of France. Another column was headed for Saint-Nazaire submarine base at the mouth of the Loire seizure of which would cut off all enemy forces of the Brittany Peninsula. A parallel drive from Rennes sped past Chateaubriand and was galloping down the last 40 miles toward the port of Nantes. More than 2,000 American heavy bombers and fighters took advantage of the excellent weather to carry out one of the biggest daylight bombing attacks of the war. The targets included the Germans' experimental site for the sequel weapons at Peenemünde, aircraft plants at Enclam and Rostock, port facilities at Kiel, and a Bremen oil factory and refinery. The revolt against Hitler apparently was simmering still as Berlin announced that the Führer had ordered a ruthless purge of the German army with 12 officers marked for early trial as traitors by the Court of Honor, whose 5 members were picked by Hitler himself. At the same time, Berlin revealed that 8 high-ranking officers had already died for the plot against Hitler and that the 2 others had deserted the Russians. In Italy, Allied troops entered Florence and found that 5 of the 6 bridges across the Arno River in the historic city had been destroyed by the retreating enemy. The Red Army fanned out against bitter resistance along the west bank of the Vistula to widen its bridgehead across that curving water barrier to 41 miles. Our Russian spearhead thundered within 37 miles of the Krakow, within 75 miles of German Silesia to the north. Soviet forces had German soil under artillery fire as they moved closer to East Prussia within 60 miles of the great German rail junction of Tilsit. With the Red Army in the outskirts of Warsaw, a fierce battle was raging within the barricaded Polish capital between the underground forces and the German army. Reports reaching London indicated that the Patriots had held many points in the north, south, and west sections of the city, including its chief skyscraper, the general post office, and the main power station and gasworks. American forces made new gains on Guam and advanced to a point where they controlled the important road junction of Finnegan, midway across the island. General McCarver announced that the Japanese in northwestern New Guinea were in full retreat throughout the Volkhov Peninsula. The fall of Mitikana, Vladimir Mikhail link in North Burma, which should have been under siege since May 17, will make it possible to link the later road with the old Burma Road, thus establishing a new military supply route from India to China. This was good news for the Chinese, who were holding fast to the positions around hard-pressed Hanging. And before that, we'll take a look at this map here. As our spirits cut up Germans in Brittany, as American columns rushing southward toward the port of Nantes were reported only 40 miles away near Chateaubriand and at Derval. Another force racing towards Saint-Nazaire was near Piprac. Units speeding west toward Brest were reported near Pontivy and Loderac. A 50-mile event from Dinan swept near Bruns. Americans were closed on St. Malo and in territory of Paris. 1 column swept eastward for the Forgrays. In other war news here, French coordinated resistance ordered to strike their coast. British patrol finds only ruins in Villas Burkagi. Battered Rennes sails, Americans announced collaborators. Battle on the force at the Saint Sever rages all night. British planned exodus of 2nd Million from the robot zone. Prepared to meet the Polish group after a talk with Stalin. Fate's premier quits, but Mannerheim asking to stay on. Observers in Ankara dropped Germans will bomb Turkey. Guam peak seized as American drive pushes back Japanese. Japanese treated the Guam natives critically, said a Chamorro. Ambassador to Vatican reported to have quit the Nazis. Canada's minister condemns nationalism in foreign policy talks. On home front, Labour supported Kilgore reconversion bill, reported the Senate. Output of Navy cargo vessels drops below goals. And Ross will keep wings and receive Army training. New Yorkers sizzled yesterday when the city endured its hottest day in 4 years today as mercury in the official Weather Bureau thermometer topped the Whitehall building at the Battery touched 96.3 degrees at 4:15 p.m. It was the hottest day in the city at 7 alone since July 27, 1941, when the 99-degree mark. The previous high mark of the year was 92.2 degrees on July 8th, and then for August 4th was 93 degrees in 1936. The highest in the date was 102.3 degrees on July 9th, 1936. New York immediate relief is inside, and the Weather Bureau predicts that it may be even hotter today, as with the mercury going as high as 97 degrees tomorrow, and Sunday slated to be hot and humid with scattered thunderstorms. The forecaster added that the many days of the heat wave continue for 4 or 5 days. The heat wave continue. To pedestrians, the temperature is reflected from sun-baked pavements and skyscraper walls, with even more scorching than was indicated by the official recording. Persons with time in hands filled the air-conditioned theaters, cafes, and restaurants where they got temporary relief, but they felt the heat all the more when they get emerged to the Southland streets. LaGuardia Field also registered a new heat record. The Weather Bureau there reported that its thermometer, which is a shade, showed 99 degrees from 2:45 to 3:15 p.m. The former record at the airport was 98.8 degrees on June 26, 1943. The temperature in Manhattan jumped from 82 degrees at 10 a.m. to 90 at noon and continued soaring up. Cotton felt mattress spent equal to pre-war standards. Pupils to fill vacant school jobs for pay. Cannon Lang brings water, warning the housewives of winter scarcity. Liechtenstein and Corn lead bridge pair play. Nancy Clemens will honor canteen guests. Edward J. Conlon, financial writer for the New York Times, dies at 49. Funeral services were held for Colonel Edmund W. Starling. Frank J. Murphy, former partner of Jules Beck, dies at 71. Fitzpatrick wants final veto power and the candidate for the bench. 94 refugees from Europe arrive here en route to shelter. 2 are shot, saving $5,000 from Queens robbers. U.S. forts piloted in the Garment area to force long leases. Einstein repudiates his biography written by his ex-son-in-law. Stay for the nightclubs in the city, tuck suit voided. And news of the screen both here and in Hollywood. Professor Emeritus F.A. Patterson of Columbia dies. University of St. Louis award of 750 scholarships. And in Washington news, Burns orders drastic job controls before stop output. Senate bill proposed today for military and civil plane output. Farmers propose 5-point program that support presses. American Parliament called in move for wire radio policy. Manuel Quezon buried in Arlington funeral in Washington. Dewey says 26 governors achieved unity in St. Louis. Filibuster transit strike goes on and leaders face arrest. Orange Democrat leaders in New Jersey swings support to fish. McKelvey named to head the GOP campaign in the West. Jackie Cooper faces juvenile delinquency charges. Anti-Roosevelt party counts 37 to 75 votes in the South. OPA president of canned food pack restricted by the GAO. Other financial business news, limited production of aluminum and wear planned by the WPB, SWPC, and Ventus proposal rent space in the U.S. plants. In Western Union announces terms for exchange of debentures. Graham Page select J.W. Frazier as chairman of the board. Yan quotes Railway and Bus Associations plan to merge. Borg Warner profit for the 6 months in $4,091,618. Stock slump and heaviest traded in fortnight bonzies. OPAs extend ration banking to the gasoline retailers. Days developments at the security markets in London. 3 municipal loans and 2 stock issues market in a week. Atlantic City is refunding project aid to taxpayers. Mortgage Bankers Association completes the state of officers. Cut the prices sag 10 to 12 points on the edge selling. Grain prices break on private crop forecast. In Boston, a flood of nearly perfect counterfeit gasoline coupons in the A11 type have been sent to the New England from New York. John J. Gallagher, the chief of the Fuel Enforcement Division of OPA for Massachusetts, said today. He expressed fears that the black market operators would thereby drain 1 million gallons of gasoline daily from the civilian market, and spirits coupons have a visible invitation and an invisible watermark on the legitimate ones. In baseball scores here, in the American League scores, Washington over the Boston Red Sox 7-5. Then the Boston Red Sox blanked the Washington Senators 4-0, and Chicago White Sox over the Cleveland Indians 5-3. 8th card 7-5 triumphs over Silver Smoke and Beatlemont feature, and Halstead Chicopee leads Stairs on a great South Bay sailing. On to the weather report for New York City vicinity, partly hot and muggy tomorrow and scattered thunder showers tomorrow. Eastern New York, hot humid tomorrow with thunder showers in the afternoon and evening and some cloudiness and cooler on Sunday. Western New York, hot and humid with thunderstorms tomorrow noon and fair and cooler on Sunday. And New Jersey, hot and humid with thunderstorms in tomorrow evening and some coolness and cooler and cloudiness on Sunday. And Connecticut, fair and humid tomorrow, partly on Sunday with scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. New York temperature at Central Park, 87 degrees with a humidity of 54%. And that's me for the CBS Television News on this August 4th, 1944 on a Friday. Peter Woods here. Good night. See you tomorrow. Good night.